Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to this preview interview with Anders Johnsson, Power Systems Specialist at Vattenfall. Welcome, Anders. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
So Anders is going to be talking at our 61850 Week 2021 event in October this year on the subject of system monitoring and specifically looking at centralized monitoring functions to support power quality monitoring and condition-based maintenance. So it'd be great to get a quick preview of the work that you're doing, Anders, and what you're going to be sharing at the event. So let's start at the beginning. How's the past year actually impacted your 61850 activities at Vattenfall?
Yeah, thank you. Of course, I mean the COVID situation have impacted the projects, the station projects, where suppliers have had difficult to travel and to be on site. So we have had some impact, of course, there as all over the world. Regarding the kind of the development activities, I think they have not been so much impacted. We have been able to do the work through online conferencing and work there. So we've continued our development of 61850 in the organization, the way we're using 61850.
Right, so you've kept up the momentum throughout the past year. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I think so. Yes, yes.
Yeah, great. Okay. And what would you say is the most important 61850 issue that your group are focused on and working on right now?
I think the starting point where we are right now in when it comes to 61850 is that we had kind of a strategy. We have a strategy to use 61850 station bus, and we had that for a couple of years. And so what we're doing now, we kind of build on that, and what's the next step? How can we use, since we have 61850 in place for the station bus, how can we use the information we get through 61850 and see, okay, how can we expand the use of 61850, not to go beyond the kind of protection, automation and the kind of alarms and things like that, to see, okay, can we use it for more condition-based maintenance, to bring in other components in the substation like transformers and power quality and things like that, and how can we and also if that's available, how can we bring that information to central systems? And of course, process bus is the next step for us. We have at the moment a ongoing procurement for a fully digital substation with process bus, where we're going to use some of the concept we have developed the last few years.
Right, okay. And which section of the grid would that be? Is that the medium voltage or low voltage?
This is a 130 to 20 kV substation.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so the business case for that looks promising, does it?
Yes, definitely. And we have great hopes for that we can save money, not only on the investment, but also throughout the whole life cycle. And so there are also some values that it's difficult to put money on right now. The kind of the access to information and what we can use it for. That's something that we need to find out. Okay, what is the real value if we can bring more information to other parts of the organization? We have some kind of assumptions about that.
Right, okay. And when we're talking about condition-based monitoring, I presume that's going to transform the way that you do many other things. What are the knock-on effects of moving towards condition-based monitoring?
I think we see a lot of possibilities to get the actual status of the equipment instead of these kind of periodic maintenance. So I think that's to shift over to really do to do maintenance activities when it's actually needed.
Right.
And also I think we can get a better understanding of the condition, the status of the equipment by combining information about kind of the real-time measurements with additional information in the organization. I mean, statistics on faults and things like that. So if we can combine that, we can have a much better kind of say we can save money in what we're actually doing on the substation equipment. Yeah.
Right, okay. And you mentioned, once you've gathered all of this data from the substation, making it available to other parts of the organization, where else do you think it can be usefully utilized that it's not being utilized at the moment?
We could, for instance, also use it in operation. So if we know, if we get a more accurate alarm from the transformers, for instance, we could later on then use that information. If we make an analysis, what is actually the situation based on the input we get, and then we can forward that to the control center, and then they can have much better data regarding, okay, can we continue to operate it? Should we anyway change the load on the transformer and things like that? So that's kind of one example of how we could use more data from the organization, from the substation.
Right, okay. And then what's the single biggest challenge you need to actually overcome in order to bring all of this to life, to make it a practical reality in your organization?
I think we have worked very hard to develop and implement an infrastructure to bring the data not only for the components inside the substation, where we have developed kind of multi-purpose gateway that can handle 61850 based data flows from many components. We also have the whole infrastructure on how to establish communication from the substation to the central system and make it available in kind of standardized open way. So we have worked hard on that. I think we're kind of past that. We're kind of we're commissioning that solution now. And then I think if we look a bit further on related to the substations, I think we need to build more knowledge in the organization on these new technical solutions, how to manage them, how to test and maintain these digital solutions in the substation. I think that's that we need to have more understanding in the organization, more skills, but also we need to improve the routines and tools to do it. And that's also one of the reasons why we are making we are procuring one fully digital substation now. It's going to be a kind of a pilot. It's a pilot installation, and the goal there is really to learn and to develop the routines for how to supervise and test the substation. And we are also introducing this gateway solution in that project. So we're going live with this gateway solution that can be used for, as I mentioned, for different kinds of condition-based data.
Right, okay. And once that pilot is complete, what's the scale of the rollout that you're going to be driving in terms of the number of substations and time period?
We have Vattenfall Distribution. We have about 1,000 large substations, and we have, we have 40,000 secondary substation, the smallest, on the lowest voltage level. But we have on the regional network, and we have about 1,000. And if everything goes well, which I think and I hope, then we will kind of introduce this concept in our technical guidelines. So it will take some time, of course, because since we will kind of implement this strategy on a full process bus and this gateway solution, and in order to bring the data. So I think that's something that we will see then and implement for basically all the substations in the future. But it will take some time. We have long lead time between decision to final implementation. So we're
as ever in the power grid, things need to be done cautiously and carefully to make sure that there's no disruption. Fantastic. Well, it sounds like a major project. So what will you be sharing with participants at 61850 week in October, Anders?
Yeah, I will then present the infrastructure solution that we have developed, both for the central connection to the central system, but also the gateway solution, this kind of multi-purpose gateway that we have developed. I will present why we have done it, what we can use it for, and also a little bit about, okay, what could be the benefit if you have this information available to be able to do condition-based maintenance, to have all kind of the power quality data available to do good analysis. And also I will tell a bit about both actually the infrastructure and also what kind of value it could bring, or how you can use the data flowing through this infrastructure.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to that, and thank you so much for your contribution. So IC 61850 Week 2021 takes place 18th to the 22nd of October, hopefully in Gothenburg, Sweden primarily, but most definitely virtually online via the Swapcard virtual event platform. Anders, thank you so much. We look forward to hearing from